Greg Shoemaker, Tri-State Football, here at the Alexandria Gold Star on our 2025 kickoff show. And I'm here with the Bishop Brossart Mustangs head coach Adam Kozerski, wide receiver DB Isaac Amin, and Nick Cozzi, the fine wide receiver, but most importantly, outstanding defensive back for this squad. And Coach, let's just start with here. 9-3, first year as a head coach last year. Got to be pretty happy with that, but man, 9-3, this team could be even better than that, couldn't they?
I'll tell you what, 9-3 was easy last year just because these guys are really smart, really great group of athletes, and they just needed, a little bit of a spark, and I think I was able to get it for them. Again, we lost some key pieces last year, but we've got the athletes that kind of filled in, and people were willing to jump around, try different spots, and I think we'll be able to build on that and hopefully match it and do a little bit better this year.
Let's talk a little bit about your offense. Tell us about the firepower you have coming back on this side of the ball.
Again, our skill group is top in Northern Kentucky, maybe top in the state. If I had to put them up against anybody, really, truly, we can go up and get the ball. We can run a little bit. We can move people around in our offense a little bit. And really, we have different ways to scheme people open, but they can get open on their own. They've got tremendous athletic ability, and really we've got, whoever winds up winning our quarterback battle is going to put these guys in great position. And our offensive line is doing a phenomenal job giving them time and allowing our playmakers to make plays.
Let's talk a little bit. You came from a small Catholic school, Holy Cross, and now you're at another small Catholic school, Bishop Brossart. But there's a lot of similarities, but this program's only been around for maybe, 20 years, if that. Talk about this program. I just feel like it's got so much more potential. I mean, it's had potential. It's been pretty decent, but I think it could go to another level. What do you think?
I think, again, this program is new, and I was at Holy Cross when they were new, and we had really good talent there, and we obviously won a state championship with me, when I was playing. We made it to the state semifinal with me as a coach. I believe that this program has it in them to take that next step and to make a push in the playoffs. Now, I took this job because it allowed me to be a teacher in the building, right? They didn't have any teaching openings down the road. They had teaching openings here, and I love both places, and I just happened to find a good fit. These guys have taken me in and let me, take charge, and I'm just really excited to be here and help them hopefully achieve some of their goals.
We're going to talk a little bit about defense now with Nick Cozzi. And Nick, Coach talked about your offense and how exciting that is with the skill players. And you got 10 career interceptions, had 7 of them last year. Let's talk about the defensive side of the ball. What do you like about your Mustangs here in 2025?
I really like our new D coordinator we brought in. He's bringing a lot more depth that I think we kind of lacked in the past, and I think it's really good for our guys because we're also smart and we can always move around and make adjustments, and it just gives us a lot more opportunities to beat the offense in ways we didn't have earlier.
What's been the best part about playing defense on this squad? I mean, I want to also take you back to your pick 6 last year. Talk about that because you had a lot of interceptions, but only 1 pick 6. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, all the picks are really just come from the guys below me, linebackers and linemen. They really close down the underside of the ball and force them to throw deep, and just makes my job a lot easier against some of these guys. And that pick 6 end of the game didn't really do much. We kind of had it sealed, but it was nice taking it back.
All right, Isaac and me, let's talk a little bit about the offense, the wide receiver, and you've had to have some reps with a few different quarterbacks this offseason. Let's talk about how the offense looks for you.
The offense looks great. I mean, our quarterbacks always show out no matter who we have out there. We have Coach Kozerski, ever since he came in last year, he's brought this offense to a new level. We've been great. We've always had the skill players, and they just find the open man, and we always succeed.
Let's talk about offense a little bit, defense a little bit. What's it like hanging out on the other side of the secondary next to Nick?
It's great. I mean, if I can keep my receiver locked up, make them make that pass, Cozzi can always just track down the ball. It's like a center fielder in baseball. He can just track down the ball, catch it, bring it the other way.
And Nick, we didn't talk. I mean, we talked a lot about your interceptions, getting close to that school record with interceptions, but 10 touchdown receptions in your career too. And talk about playing offense a little bit, and what is it that makes it so easy for you to get open and get into the end zone?
I think it's just keeping it simple, especially with your quarterback, not trying to do too much. Stick to what you're good at and just keep repping it, because if you're good at it, nobody can stop it. And I think I had the connection with the quarterback last year, and I'm seeing the similar things with the guys we got this year. So I'm really excited for what we can do.
Coach, before I let you go, let's talk a little bit about the schedule. Week 2, you got Sayre, the state champions, and you said before we got on this interview, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. But let's talk a little bit about the schedule, your philosophy on scheduling.
So, you look at the schedule we had last year, and, we had Pineville. They were a team that at their height was pretty good. Last year we got them on a down year, I think. We got a couple other games that we had to schedule last year out of circumstance. North College Hill was one we had to schedule late, and we took care of business there. And again, we took the group that we had, we learned a new system on offense and a new system on defense, and we had some good success. Now we're at the point where the guys are getting settled into the system a little bit more. We want to challenge ourselves a little bit. I really think that, Sayre won the state championship last year. They lost a little bit, but they have Pennington's next child coming in playing quarterback for them, right? They're going to be well coached. Right, we have Louisville DeSales, another team. I would think they're a little bit more comparable to Lloyd, a good, hard-fought, hard-nosed team. That's somebody that we can compete with, somebody that's going to force us to work hard. Right, Bracken County, another team that is really underrated for what they have. They got great big size, a good running back, and really hard-nosed kids down there. But I put them on the schedule because I think our kids are at the point where they can handle that level of competition and use it to get ready for the playoffs, right? I didn't schedule them one week after the other. I want to make sure that we have an opportunity to look at those big games and break them down and work on some smaller details before we get to the next big game. But really, I think that these guys are able to handle it, and that is what's going to help us make that deep playoff push.
Your dad was head coach at Holy Cross for years and years, former Bengal. How has he been with you as a head coach? Has he been sort of hands-off? Have you gotten his opinions on a lot of stuff? How's your relationship been with your dad since you became a head coach and he's been out of head coaching?
He starts doing these little clinics for my offensive linemen once a week, every now and again. He really loves coming out and working with our guys. And frankly, especially as a young head coach, I'd be foolish to turn him away. I mean, he's got 50 years of football knowledge and experience. He played it at the highest level, and he was part of the best offensive line in the league that year they went to the Super Bowl, right? He played with Jim McNally as his offensive line coach. They call him Mouse, one of the Hall of Famers for his role. Anthony Munoz, Max Montoya, Bruce Reimers, all these great offensive linemen that he was able to help to learn from, and he blocked guys like Tim Crumry every day. So the techniques that he has learned, the information that he's collected is second to none, and really helps our guys day in and day out, and they love it too. They love having him there.
There you go, guys. That's the Bishop Brossart Mustangs, and I'm going to tell you what, you're going to be hearing a lot about them this year. Head coach Adam Kozerski, Isaac Amin, and Nick Cozzi right here. I'm Greg Shoemaker for Tri-State Football, and we are at the 2025 Kickoff Party here at Gold Star in Alexandria.